Well, as we've reported over the last few days, one of the hardest hit areas from the storm was on the east side of Lake Bemidji, and that's where Lake Bemidji State Park stands. Our reporter Matthew Freeman spoke with officials at the state park and DNR's office to get details on the extent of the damage as well as when the park plans on reopening.
Officials could only find one word to describe the damages to Lake Bemidji State Park from the destructive storm that passed over Beltrami County. Devastating.
I don't often use the word devastation with natural events, but this really is. I work a lot of storm recoveries. This is probably one of the toughest blowdowns we've seen in this area.
It was a chore just to get in because of all the downed trees.
Park officials knew a bad storm was coming and did everything they could to prepare campers and park staff for what was to come.
We were talking to every camper as they were coming in and checking in for their campsite, telling them what to expect tonight. It could get really bad, directing them to where the severe weather shelters are, and also the fact that we have a weather siren. So when they hear that, that's their cue to go to a shelter.
One staff member was even working through the storm to make sure everyone at the park was safe.
He was busy helping people out and making sure everyone was okay, doing an assessment of the campground and all of our visitors. And he was actually trapped here. He could not leave, he could not get home, so he stayed the night.
Park officials met with that staff member the next morning, confirming that he was safe and unharmed. Park staff also spent time that morning to assess the damages from the storm.
We've got a couple park buildings that are damaged, nothing too severe. It seems like repairs could be made. Might have to decommission one of the buildings, but I think all in all, with the number of buildings we have, we're very fortunate.
The same couldn't be said, however, for the hundreds of trees that were lost throughout the park.
We have lost trees that took 200 years to grow, and you're not going to replace those in any of our lifetime.
The park announced it would remain closed for the foreseeable future, but cleanup efforts started almost immediately the morning after the storm passed.
I started getting phone calls at 6 in the morning to start mounting a response, get in here and help the park open up so we could get people out of their campsites. We were on the ground cutting, I think by 8:30, 8 o'clock on Saturday.
Despite the extensive damage, officials are doing everything they can to get the park back open as soon as possible and are proud of the work achieved so far in doing so.
We have about 20 people on the ground right now. I'm very proud of the work that our crews do. There's a lot of problem trees that are really unsafe. We spend a lot of time going through areas like this where we have tents pitched and campers, and making sure that if we get another large storm, we won't have stuff damaged in this storm that's coming down on those recreational facilities.
Lake Bemidji State Park will officially reopen on Friday at 4 p.m., but only partially. State Park officials say they hope to open Dave's area, the beach, the overnight campgrounds, as well as a few of the trails.
We're hoping access to the bog walk will reopen again next week, but this is a 1,700-acre park, very extensive trail system. It's going to take a while to get to all those trails, and we hope the public will be patient with us as we get through this process.
Reporting in Bemidji, I'm Matthew Freeman, Lakeland News.
If you have any questions, we're told you should visit the Lake Bemidji State Park website or their social media pages.
Lakeland News is a nonprofit news organization. Donate to Lakeland PBS today to support your local news team.